My name is Amanda Krangle, and I am an internet marketing scientist for Optimized Marketing. I'm really excited about what we're doing for our white label clients because we have, the last few years, worked so hard at developing all of these systems and automations to really make every aspect of a digital agency faster, better, allowing our experts who actually help our clients grow to focus on that growth and not have to worry about doing a keyword bid or searching for a highest value landing page. All of that kind of stuff, what we've done so well is automating and optimizing all of that in the back end so that we can really help our clients focus on getting real results. The 80-20 philosophy, also known as the Pareto principle, it says that 80% of inputs will influence 20% of outputs. So for a business, this could mean that 80% of your customers drive 20% of your revenue, and that only 20% of your customers drive 80% of your revenue. So this principle can basically be used in every facet of life and nature, but it's very, very powerful for conversion rate optimization because it tells us that 80% of our efforts that we're going to employ working on a site to improve it are only going to cause 20% improvements. But if we can find those 20% elements of the site or 20% of pages on the site, whatever that looks like, and know exactly which 20% are going to generate the 80% of results, we have a much higher chance of improving overall performance of a site, which obviously drives leads and sales for our clients. We hear CRO a lot these days, and as a matter of fact, a lot of agencies say that they do CRO, but when you ask what that means to them, they typically say that they apply best practices for usability or user experience to a website. Well, we think it's really a lot more than that. CRO is the process of using science and psychology to formulate and test hypotheses in order to convert more traffic into leads or sales. It's incredible to me that less than 5% of businesses utilize CRO, and even less than that run valid A/B split tests. This provides a huge opportunity for your clients in the market because if you're one of the very, very few agencies out there offering true scientific split testing and conversion rate optimization to your clients, it's a very, very powerful way for them to gain market share because most likely their competitors aren't doing it. It's really one of the most powerful ways to increase leads and also drive down acquisition costs because you're turning a higher percent of traffic into web contacts, whether that's leads or sales. The first step, and oftentimes a very overlooked step, is to track the appropriate conversion metrics for your clients. So whether that is web form completion, a phone call, a sale, an email sign up, it is highly important that you measure those conversions. You know, everything else as far as what you're going to optimize, what pages you're going to focus on, what elements you're going to improve, none of that will matter if you don't have set goals in place. And that's why the conversion metrics are so important, that that's the first thing you set up so that you're able to track that. The second thing that you want to do is you want to review those goals. Once you set those up, the data is going to begin to tell you a story. It's going to tell you a story of how many people are coming to your site and actually completing the goal, pages the goal is being completed on, how many people are completing that conversion goal on specific pages, so you have a conversion rate. From that, you can extrapolate all kinds of data to improve your client site. And then from there, you want to make sure that you're looking at pages that are going to offer the most opportunity. So for example, you may have 30 pages on one of your clients' websites. And based on the 80-20 principle, we know that 20% of those pages are generating 80% of the conversions. So the first thing you want to look at once you've been tracking conversions for a while is you want to look at your high traffic pages, but pages that have high traffic and a low conversion rate, because those are going to be the ones that offer you the most room for improvement. We use for all of our data tracking on our sites is Google Analytics. It's free, it's easy to set up, and it really will provide you all the information that you need for, small to medium-sized locally based businesses. Once you have that set up on the site, you can easily create conversion goals. And once you create a conversion goal, you assign a value to it. So for example, for our clients, it's $10. For your clients, it may be something different. But every single time somebody fills out a web form or contacts them through a phone call, we assign a conversion value of $10. 10. When we look at Google Analytics under the behavior And then we look at all pages. So we're looking at all pages on the site. We typically look at least 90 days worth of data so that we're making sure that we're not just looking at a brief snapshot. A lot of times we'll look at year-over-year data as well. But we figure, especially for clients that get more than about 60 unique visitors a month, we look at 90 days. If you have less than that, it's typically best to go back at least 180 days. This report here basically shows you all the pages on the site, and then because we've set up a page value, it gives us the value of the page, and again, it was $10. And so to find a conversion rate, we simply move the decimal point, and so this, instead of 25 cents, this actually means the conversion rate is 2.5%. So out of 100 visitors, 2.5 people are actually contacting them from the home page. Now, of course, we have this client. So if we actually look at sort by page views, that tells us how many people are visiting the page, and then we look at page value. Based on this data, we can easily see which pages offer the highest room for improvement. And as most pages or most websites will be, the home page will provide the biggest bang for your buck if you can improve conversions. At Optimized Marketing, have developed algorithms and software that basically allows us to take a look at that automatically. So it does all of the back-end work for us. We can just log right in, see exactly where we need to spend our time, and go from there. We run what we call a page value data spreadsheet, and this basically is a very simple script that pulls the data from Google Analytics that we were just looking at, and it automatically pulls it into a spreadsheet. So there's no exporting, there's no importing, there's no copying, pasting. This is done by a script that runs every time we run this analysis for this client. It runs automatically, and it populates those metrics that we were looking at, you know, the number of people who looked at the page, the value of the page, but it adds on a couple things that really, really help us to focus our time and energy for our clients. The first one is the opportunity. As we discussed, we have the ability to look at all of our clients within a specific industry or specific vertical and look at whose page, so in this instance this is a home page, is performing the best. So out of all of our clients right now, the best homepage is converting at almost 17%. Again, we're moving the value over 1 decimal point because all of our conversions are $10 in value. And so right now, this homepage is the page value for this time period is about 5.7%. And that's, you know, typically a fairly good conversion rate for a homepage. But now we have one who's converting almost 17%. So as an optimizer of this account, I'm going to be like, wow, whose site is performing that well? I want to go see what's going on with that site and see if there's something I can do on this site to improve it, to make it as good as the other site that's doing that well. And then we also have this column here that automatically populates when the script is run, and this tells us the actual value of the page if we were to improve it to this highest level. So what that does, it basically takes the opportunity, so the page that's converting the highest, all the home pages out of all of our clients within that vertical, minus the page value, and it multiplies it by the unique page views. We're taking into account conversion rate, and we're taking into account traffic. And this will tell us where to spend our time. For this client, we really need to optimize the home page. Again, this is a validation that, you know, what we just talked about, knowing your client's services. Here we have the zip code check page that we're just looking at as a high priority. And then we also have the ability to break out mobile and desktop. We also see here that on the mobile version of this page, we have a lot of room to improve. So next time I optimize this, I'm going to be looking at the data to improve this specific page and the home page. The value of having Optimized Marketing do your white label marketing services for you is that actually doing this for every single one of your clients, if you were to do this manually, it would take hours. It would take hours to pour through this data, to look at all of the different sites. Obviously, our system and our software does that automatically for you. When you have somebody working on your team from Optimized Marketing as a white label optimizer for your clients, we're actually able, instead of pulling data, we're able to actually spend our time analyzing the data, creating hypotheses, formulating new scientific split tests, and improving conversion rate. All of our time just looking at back-end data. And because we have the back-end data already ready for us, we can make bigger impact on your clients on their overall improvement because we've got the time to do it. So many other agencies spend all of their time either trying to figure out how to get the data they need, or they just make guesses based on not having the data because it's too much work to get it. Because we've automated that entire process, it frees us up to really focus on that high-value work that's going to get your clients the biggest bang for their buck, and it's going to make you look awesome in the process. Any agencies out there that have a lot of clients and they're looking at running tests, it can get really overwhelming. For example, we started out, we're doing all of this for our own clients. We have over 70 of them. So how do you manage all of that? We created another spreadsheet called the Experiment Page Management Spreadsheet that does all of this for us. Every time we create an experiment, we enter it into this sheet, and then when it's done, we enter in the results, the conversion rate, and the winning percentage, and the statistical significance automatically calculates once you put in the results of the test, and it tells you if there was no winner, if there was a winner, or of course if it's still running. It also will tell you if you need to rerun it, if the results are just a little bit too close for comfort. We're looking at a 90% statistical significance or higher to base our winning version off of. And so if it's like 89 or 87%, a lot of times we'll rerun the test. So this automatically does that for us. The other really cool thing is that when we're looking to figure out what to test on a page, we can go here and we can actually sort and say, I want to look at every get pricing page on every single one of our client sites and see what tests have run and how they've turned out. Because when you've got multiple optimizers working on lots and lots of different accounts, people are testing out their own personal ideas. And so you don't always have the most perfect way of communicating all of those great hypotheses. And so this is a way for us to make sure that we are trying what other people are trying when it's working. And of course, with every single one of these, we're looking at the hypothesis, and then we're looking at the implementation, and we're looking at the outcome to generate ideas on how to improve our client pages. Optimized Marketing as a white label provider, we do all of this for you. You don't have to invest in all of these awesome tools. We've already invested in it for you, and it's all taken care of. Not only do you get to utilize the data and the results that we provide, but you can also share some of this really cool stuff with your clients, and again, makes you look absolutely phenomenal to them that you're doing all these different things using all these tools to help them grow. If you see the value in this and the systems that we've set up to do all of this for you on demand so that you look like the expert but you don't have to do the work, go to our site and see if you qualify to work with us. We want to make sure that we're a good fit for you and vice versa. So we've got a really quick quiz that you can take to see if it's something that you want to invest your time in and that you would qualify to do with us.